Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, and shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today, where we, I didn't, it's not that I didn't want to talk about it, but Pokemon obviously was released today, Scarlet and Violet. Haven't played it yet, because of course, no time, but maybe I'll play it this weekend, maybe I won't, I don't really know. But yes, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, but the thing I always want to talk about whenever new Pokemon games come out is, of course, the new Pokemon and the designs of that sort of thing. So, I guess spoilers if you are concerned about me talking about new Pokemon. I'm using cereB.net, Scarlet Violet Pokemon, the new Pokemon, just as a reference. You can scroll down through that webpage as well if you want to see what I'm talking about as I talk about them, because it's kind of fun to get first reactions and that sort of thing. Plus, I don't know what else to talk about. But anyway, hello there, everyone. Right now on Fawnhallow, 6:11 p.m. on Friday, November 18th, 2022. We've got label visiting, which means someone we will probably ignore. Sorry, label. But I don't think we've spoken to you for ages. But anyway, Scarlet and Violet, yes. So, I have no idea what the game looks like. I talked about it a little bit yesterday, where I've heard it's a nice change up for a Pokemon game, but also it just runs, performance-wise, absolutely terribly. Or far worse than you would expect from a AAA title. But, that I'm just that's actually, that's what I spoke about yesterday. I'm that's kind of inexcusable, I suppose. That is kind of game ruining. But, other things, not necessarily as game ruining. And, Pokemon is an absolute titan of a franchise. If people like Pokemon, people are going to buy the games. That's the long and short of it. And myself is included in that. I'm not trying to be holier than thou. I like Pokemon as a franchise. So, of course I'm going to buy the games at some point. And until they really are egregious, but mostly I don't mind too much. Other gameplay is kind of similar. It's kind of to be expected. I just kind of like looking at all the new Pokemon. So often I buy them years after, either a long time after they've been released, or I just never beat it. But anyway, let's talk about the Pokemon now. Starting with the starters, Sprigatito. Sprigatito was the cutest and the one I actually really like all the base starters in this generation. Which I think is actually quite counter to a lot of my reactions in some of the different ones. Oh, no, maybe that's not true. I mean, generally the first starters that they're quite difficult to get wrong. I will say in Sword and Shield I wasn't that big a fan of Sobble, and Grookey I was on. I did quite like Skull Bunny, but remember evolutions got kind of wild, to be honest, but I actually quite liked Inteleon, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Sprigatito I thought was the cutest one, and one I was much more privy to, and I talked about my predictions for what I thought Sprigatito was going to evolve into, and my predictions was going to be some really sort of flashy, over the top, I think I said before, man. I'm not really sure if I actually said it in the video, but it's definitely the one I was thinking. I was thinking someone with a cat with an Iberian lynx with multicolored leaves as a cape or that sort of thing, and it was super flashy and over the top and dramatic and attention seeking, because that's how they were described. And I even joked that they would probably be an Instagram influencer or something. Turns out they are a jester or a dark magician, kind of or stage magician type of character. I would say the second evolution is actually quite good. It feels very sort of normal Pokemon-y, and by normal Pokemon early Pokemon sort of style, where it's just a reasonably cat-like thing, I suppose, but it's got a bit of an element to it. It's basically a grass cat, which is now kind of bipedal. The final evolution is not one of my favorites, I'll actually say, and it's not because it's bipedal, because I don't really care if a Pokemon becomes bipedal. I more or less care, do I like the aesthetic that they're going for, and do I like the execution? This time I think the aesthetic's actually kind of cool. The idea of a dark jester, a dark magician, being kind of sneaky and evil, sort of reveling in the attention, being getting. I don't know if actually that's the law behind it, but the vibe I get is this person wants to spite you, I suppose, and wants your attention at all costs or whatever, and it kind of lures people in, and loves illusions and tricks and that sort of thing. My nitpick with this Pokemon is actually a really it's way too plain a design, I think. It kind of it reminds me of the same design sort of level that Braixen has, and Braixen's the second evolution. I kind of want this this character I feel should lean harder into the illusions, into all the deception and that sort of thing, and the theatrics they got going on, but they're surprisingly quite a boring design, the third design is perhaps a bit strange for a creature, of course, but Pokemon are becoming more and more anthropomorphized, I suppose, throughout the generations, so that's kind of to be expected. I actually kind of like it's more short, I don't know, shorts detail, kind of bodysuit. I guess it kind of mimics a sort of jester, clown-esque outfit, and the mask is kind of cool. It's just it's so non-flashy, it's so non This character looks like they should be personality-wise like an evil villain in some sort of anime. You know, you can imagine him. Like, I think people are drawing comparisons to the villain, not the villain, that character from Sailor Moon, whose name I can't remember. But I don't know, they're just so surprisingly plain, is what I'd say. It just surprises me that like they didn't go more ham on the design. But you know, otherwise it's fine, I'd say. I think it looks better in 2D than it does in 3D, but a lot of Pokemon do. Fuecoco, it's not my particular thing. I actually think the second evolution is surprisingly the weakest. It looks very sort of like aesthetically out of place compared to the rest of it. But the first one is meant to be a chili pepper. The second one is meant to be an alligator wearing a sombrero, and the third one I'm not really sure what it's meant to be, except for it's now kind of like dead. The ghost it's kind of dead, maybe. I'm not sure how I got on with Stump, to be honest. But it's like a flaming skull. I don't know if it was just me, but it kind of made me look like a clown. But I think it's meant to be like a singer or something, right? Gentle singing soothes all that hears it, which is wild that this is the lore behind that Pokemon, and it doesn't really communicate that at all to me. I don't really look at this Pokemon and be like, this looks like it's a singer, I suppose. But sure, I guess. Like, isn't Dirge like a death song or something, like a mourning song, or have I just made it up in my head? A lament for the dead. So I guess it's meant to be like a funeral rite, which is a funeral rite singer, which is, you know, actually kind of interesting. It doesn't quite come across, but I actually think the design is pretty cool. It's not my sort of design. It's not the thing I'm like, oh, it's not something which appeals to me, but I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool. Now the Quaxly evolution line, amusingly, I actually quite like that final evolution. Like, Quaxly is fine. It looks, you know, just like a basic sort of second evolution. Like, I'd probably put it just like slightly below Florigato, but above Crocodile. But Quaquaval is actually kind of hilarious. This is like leaning into that ham design, you know, I was talking about that I kind of wanted from Meowscarada or something. This Pokemon to me looks like a dancer. It looks like I don't even know what sort of dancer, but like over the top and like likes to like perform. They look like they'd flourish and that sort of thing. Like you can see that they've got like a peacock Eskimo teeth, which is a bit strange because I don't know if peacocks like live in Spain, but massive headdress, you know, and obviously that was a centerpiece in their design in their first evolution, so that sort of thing. We got actual interesting like sort of patterns around the thing. They kind of do look like we're wearing clothes again, but I guess it kind of makes sense. And like a flamenco dancer, I think, has a sort of outfit maybe. So, but I like it because at least the design feels at least more visually interesting than the other one, like the Meowscarada. But perhaps that's just me like misinterpreting what Meowscarada is. This character, this Pokemon is much more clearly meant to be a performer, so of course they're going to have much more grandiose design. But I guess Meowscarada is meant to be much more sort of like sinisterly evil, like behind the scenes, you know, doing tricks and illusions. But you know, I don't know. It just feels like there's something a little bit missing with Meowscarada, to be honest. Anyway, we got Lechonk, which, you know, people loved and adored, and then we got Oinkologne. I'm surprised this Pokemon doesn't have a third evolution, is what I'd say. But this one has gender differences, I assume. I can't. The other one's not loading. It's fine. It looks like a pig, is what I'd say, and I don't really know what else to say about it. I don't really know what. I guess it's meant to be cologne. I don't even know what the aesthetic is going for, so I guess it's a pig which smells nice. I don't really get that from the design. Actually, now I look at it, it does kind of look like a perfume sort of bottle, like sprayer. Its tail. I don't even know which one's a male, which one's a female one, to be honest, so who knows. I'm not even sure what its tail is meant to be, but it's fine, is what I'd say. It doesn't stand out to me, or anything like that. Dunsparce, the Dunsparce, 2-segmented form. Has not loaded in on Cerebi yet, so I'm gonna have to Google it to get the leaks or whatever. Excuse me? Is it not called the Dunsparce 2-segment form? Oh no, wait, it actually has 2 segments and 3 segments. That's it. What? Well, that's a bit. No. Okay, I guess. I guess it's becoming a snake. I don't know. Just move on from that, to be honest, and don't really know what else to say for this. The spider Pokemon. I don't really know what this one is. Tarantula. It's a string-born spider, and then it becomes like a karate spider? I don't even know. What even is this? It looks okay. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I will say, when I first looked at the leaks, I was like, this Pokédex looks absolutely insane, some of the Pokemon. Like some of the most off-the-wall sort of things. I guess these are meant to be the sort of like early insect Pokemon, and also Nimble and low kicks. Low kicks looks like something straight out of Bug Fables. I'm not gonna lie. This looks like an NPC, like an evil villain in Bug Fables. Actually, I quite like its first evolution. Nimble is actually quite cute. Actually, quite insecty while giving it some sort of like unique designs and shapes. I suppose it's got like a sort of like floral crisscross pattern. Actually, I'm not really sure what. I'm not sure, and it just looks like a made up insect, which I guess is kind of cool. Redor, I guess, is meant to be a dung beetle, and Rabaska, the evolution of it. It looks kind of cool. It's not really my design, you know. Not sort of a design that appeals to me particularly. You know, dung beetles, I guess, are kind of interesting, but you know. Oh, it evolves by walking 100 steps. That's quite cute. It's got a mud ball, according to this. I don't know what its role here in its evolution though. Well, it's all the barely moves. I thought about the true body of a Pokemon is actually inside a ball. Okay, so the body is now just a sort of like a shell of what it is. Oh, an infant sleeps. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. It's carrying its child inside the ball. So, oh, that's an interesting evolution. I'm not really sure what I think of it, to be honest. Hello, Celeste. I'm probably not going to see you later tonight. Greavard and Houndstone. I think it's a cool design. You know, a graveyard dog. That sort of thing. I don't. Is that a common thing? It might be a common thing. I'm trying to think about it because, you know, I can think of like a groundskeeper who no, but not groundskeeper. Who are people who look after graveyards called? I can imagine them having like a dog or something like a pet. Honestly, I think it's quite cute. I think it works. To be honest, I think the gravestone on top of it. I think Greavard, the first evolution, is a bit better than the base evolution is a bit better than Houndstone. The gravestone on top of its head is a bit sort of like on the nose, I think. But you know, whatever. Flitter, I don't even get. What? Are you a chick? I guess it's kind of cute, to be honest. It looks like a scrunchie, is what I'd say. I don't really understand why it evolves into what looks like an ostrich or an emu. I guess because it's a chick, it evolves into a bird, a bigger bird. But I'm not really sure why it's got that frill thematic then with it. At least so some of these things probably are references which are being lost on me because you know I am literally just reacting to them now. Okay, not quite reacting to them now, like sort of properly reacting to them now. I'm not really sure what it's meant to be. Anyway, if you don't know, I always build out my team in each of the Pokemon games using only new Pokemon. So I don't know who I'm going to go with right now. Ferrig Giraffe? I actually kind of like it. You know, it's kind of cute. It's a bit of a strange design. And it's not exactly what I expected what Girafarig would evolve into, rather than like it having its sort of like dual thing and then like leaning into its dual nature, I suppose. It's sort of like one of them has enveloped kind of the other one. I don't know. At least it looks like a giraffe, I guess. Wiglet is just kind of cute. It's probably what I'd say. I don't really have much else to add on to that. Wugtrio is just also kind of amusingly cute. I assume they're meant to be, what have we got, like sandworms or something? Which, you know, I think it works quite well. Dondozo and Veluza. I don't really know what. Wow, is this meant to be like an Octillean Remoraid? No, sorry, a Mantike Remoraid situation or one. It's kind of like the other. Discards unnecessary flesh. Oh wait, are these the same? No, is that what? It regenerates itself, this one. I don't know. I mean, I guess there's that regenerating jellyfish. I don't know if other fish can do it, but it teams up with Tatsugiri to catch prey. What the heck is Tatsugiri? I can't remember that Pokemon. Tatsugiri. What is this? Oh, it's the sushi Pokemon, which comes later. I don't really know what this is based off of. It kind of looks like a sushi chef, but maybe I'm just sort of like losing my mind. I don't know what a lot of these are based off of. I'm going to be honest. Maybe these are exclusives. Maybe one's to Scarlet, one's to Violet. I don't know. Finazin Palafin, Zero Form, Hero Form. I'll say the dolphin looks kind of cute. It kind of looks like a Neopet. Is the first thing I've thought of, and its Hero Form is wild. I guess it's meant to be a superhero, like under disguise or whatever, and it's transforming into something. It's a bit, for my personal taste, I will say its hero form is a bit too on the nose, I think, with the shoulder portions and the gloves. I don't even know what the sock thing is meant to be. I remember just like having the emblem, I think, on the chest. I think goes quite well. And then maybe sort of having the cape shoulder things looks okay, but then like the actual paw joint itself, it doesn't even have a cape, so I don't even know why it's got these sort of paw joint attachments to it. And the gloves are just I think a step too much probably for the actual dolphin. I think it would have been fine without the gloves, to be honest, but maybe it wouldn't be. Who knows? Maybe it would have been plain. Maybe I'd be like, oh, now it looks too plain. I don't know. Smoliv is actually, well, I think this evolution line is actually a winner in this line. Normally the early grass ones are a little bit boring, but this one actually looks very, very pretty, very graceful, is what I'd say. In terms of starts as a really cute Smoliv, and then the first evolution, it makes sense. It's like an evolution of a small olive, I suppose. And then it becomes like a full-on olive tree or something. I don't know. I guess it appeals to my taste a lot more, so I think that's an absolute winner. Capaskid is actually quite cute. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see this first evolution before. Skull Villain, I think because the neck's so tiny, it ends up looking really strange to me. But actually, I like the concept of it being like a very aggressive sort of chili pepper. Actually, it's a bit strange how there's like 2 chili Pokemon, isn't it? Maybe Fuecoco isn't based off of a chili in the end. It's just meant to be a sort of skeleton. Maybe. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Because now, I say the skeleton part of Fuecoco, and I'm just like, I feel like I thought about when I first saw it as well, just as a passing thought. But you also have a lot of passing thoughts when you first see things, so I'm not going to like pretend I predicted it or anything. Tadpole's pretty cute, and I think Bellybolt is also pretty cute. They're not really my sort of design styles, they're not really my sort of things I would opt for, but I quite like him. I think a cute sort of like chunky blobby Pokemon. The room, I don't even remember seeing this one. What is this one? What is this? A vacuum? Oh no, it's it's a car? What? Now that's just wild. I mean, I gotta say, I'm gonna lay claim to that as a bold move trying to make a car an actual Pokemon, but there have been more man-made things, I suppose, made into Pokemon before, right? So it's very strange. Like, I don't know. It's a sort of a feeling I get from a lot of these Pokemon is that the design parts are too on the nose. Like they incorporate elements which are obviously meant to be in reference to what they're meant to be, but it's just like it's not that smoothly incorporated. Like the Rev Room has got like an exhaust pipe which just feels way over the top. And I don't even know car parts, but or that sort of thing. It sort of just it doesn't feel particularly natural enough. But I guess it's not meant to be natural, because part of the thing about it is it's meant to be futuristic, so I wouldn't be surprised if these are like machine-based Pokemon or something. Orthworm, I don't even know, it's just a mechanical worm, I guess? Not really sure. I'm surprised this doesn't evolve, but maybe it doesn't, it hasn't been updated yet. Tandemouse, Mousehold, I don't know, it's so random in this game. Like I don't get like why it's in this game, but it's so cute that I actually quite like it. And I'll be honest, I don't think it belongs as a Pokemon. I don't look at it and be like, this looks like a Pokemon. I'm just sort of like, what is it? This looks like an early enemy you would see in like a Dragon Quest game or something, or like a Sylvanian family video game, or like a Tamagotchi or something. It's very strange, but it's cute. It's cute, is what I'd say. And probably, maybe I'm hypocritical, but I think I'm going to use it in my team. So Toddle, I don't even know what this is. Actually, I actually kind of like it, That's quite cute. What is this, though? It's a whale. It's a walking whale Pokemon. Interesting. You know what? It's nice. I like it. Sorry, I'm also speeding up because, I'm running out of time. So this must be the pseudo-legendary of this generation, this dragon one. Frigibax. What are you? You remind me of, like, what's it called? That steel one, which also looks like this sort of, like, triangular mountain shape. I don't know, it's like Godzilla or something. It launches out in battle by flipping upside down and spewing frigid air from its mouth. What? Baxcalibur. Like Excalibur? Scarlet. That's what I'd say to that. Tatsugiri. I said this before. I actually think a sushi Pokemon's a very clever Pokemon. Not very clever Pokemon, but more like I'm surprised it hasn't, been done before. It's also got different forms, apparently. Yeah. I just quite like it. I think it's simplistic, and I think it works. Cyclizar. Like a sort of mini version of a legendary. It's okay. Like, again, it sort of falls into the thing where I'm just like, it's a bit on my nose. I actually like how its tail kind of looks like a wheel thing, but the wheel just stuck in its throat kind of looks a bit weird to me. I suppose it's meant to be like, you know, the sort of like inflatable things that frogs can do. Maybe it's meant to be like that, or, you know, some lizards do have that sort of like, I don't know what to call it, thing under its neck, but I don't know. It just doesn't quite work for me. Poor me, poor man, poor Mott look very similar throughout its evolutions, which is surprising. Oh, here's a bird. Why is a bird so far down? Waterrill, killer waterrill. There's actually so many birds, my word. My word. This one looks like it's wearing an apron. I don't really get that. Item drop Pokemon. Oh, it is wearing an apron to bundle up food. So it's meant to be like a stork. I see. And it drops things. Alright. I mean, it just kind of looks like a bird wearing an apron, so I'm not going to be like, that's crazy. Squawk, you know, they just look like, you know, pretty standard sort of like animal Pokemon. And I'm surprised none of these evolve. Flamingo is literally just a flamingo as well. But, you know, if you like those sort of like older designs, I think, in Generation like 1, where it's just like, it is just like a slightly stranger looking animal, then you probably like those designs. Clorf looks wild. It's not my sort of thing, but whatever. Knackley looks like it's from Minecraft. Glimmet, I don't even know what it is. Like, I get some sort of flower. Shroodle? Quafifi actually looks quite cool, I'm not gonna lie. What, it evolves from Shroodle? It's a mouse? And then it becomes a monkey? I don't know, it looks kind of cool. Daspin. Fido is pretty cute. Daspin, I guess, it feels like a reasonable evolution. Mastiff? Masbostiff? What? It like hit old age? Is a boss Pokemon? What is this? Mastiff is a rascal? So it like straightens itself out. This one's Tumbleweed. Which is, no, it's a Bramblebush, I guess. Because Tumbleweed, isn't there Tumbleweed in Spain? It is a Tumbleweed, what? Is there Tumbleweed in Spain? This looks like a Dragon Quest enemy. So does Gimmickle, to be honest. Goldengo is just insane, is what I'd say. And then the old Pokemon and the new Pokemon, I haven't really looked at them. Fluttermane? Its name is Fluttermane? That sounds like a My Little Pony character. These all sound like My Little Pony characters, kind of. Brute Bonnet? Okay, maybe not. Sandy Shocks? That could be My Little Pony character. Screamtail? Roaring... No, maybe it sounds like Warrior Cats sort of characters. I don't know. These are just wild. They're like artificial Pokemon and prehistoric Pokemon. I don't know what to think about them. Tinkaton. I guess that's pseudo-legendary. Or is it an actual legendary? I don't even get it. It just holds a giant hammer. It's like a pink little sprite which holds a hammer. What? Armarouge, Toadskull, King Gambit, Clodsire, Annihilate. Wild. I've no idea. Oh, I skipped these ones. Tinglu, Qianpao, Woqian. Interesting. So they're like... What is going on? I don't know. But the long and short of it is like... You know, some of them do interest me, some of them don't. I didn't really analyse any of these designs. There was a few too many for me to actually properly do it in a 20-minute cycle. But what's my favourite one? I'm not really sure. I think the Smoliv line is a true winner. I'm crowning that as being like, you know, most consistent throughout evolutions of ones I like. Tatsuguri, also a really good one. I gave you a thumbs up and I don't know why. I do like Quafifi design. I might put Quafifi on my team. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I don't know. Hope you have fun playing Pokemon Scarlet or Violet if you are playing it. And if you don't, then fair enough. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me Dear Darling Discord. Follow me on Twitter down below. Hope to see you again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time. Bye-bye for now.